As the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh once said, when you touch one thing with deep awareness, you touch everything. This simple truth captures the transformative power of mindfulness and Zen wisdom, a power we're about to explore together. Welcome to OM Wisdom, where we delve into timeless teachings designed to elevate your understanding of life, calm your mind, and nourish your soul. In today's journey, we'll uncover some of the most profound and practical principles of Zen, principles that not only inspire, but also equip you to handle life's challenges with grace and balance. What you're about to hear is more than just wisdom. It's a roadmap to living with greater peace, clarity, and purpose. By the end of this exploration, you'll see why these teachings are indispensable and why you'll feel grateful to have discovered them here. Trust me, you'll want to carry these insights into your life immediately. Each principle builds upon the last, leading you closer to an unshakable inner calm. Pay close attention to the final principle. It holds the key to tying all of today's teachings together in a way that can transform how you approach every moment. Let's begin this journey together and step into the flow of Zen wisdom. Here's Principle 1, Understanding Impermanence. In Buddhism, one of the most profound and liberating teachings is the principle of impermanence, known as anicca in Pali. It reminds us of a fundamental truth that everything in life, our thoughts, feelings, relationships, possessions, and even our own existence, is in a constant state of change. Nothing stays the same forever. While this reality may initially feel unsettling, it holds the key to deep inner peace when fully understood. Think about the world around you. The seasons shift, flowers bloom and wither, rivers flow ceaselessly, and even the mountains, steadfast as they seem, erode over time. Impermanence is not just a concept, it is the nature of life itself. When we resist this truth, clinging to the illusion of permanence, we set ourselves up for unnecessary suffering. But when we embrace impermanence, we begin to see life for what it truly is, a beautiful, ever-changing tapestry of moments. This understanding can drastically reshape how we approach challenges and setbacks. Imagine facing a moment of loss or disappointment. The pain is real, but knowing that it will not last forever can bring a sense of relief and hope. Just as the darkest night eventually gives way to dawn, every hardship we endure is temporary, destined to pass. Impermanence teaches us resilience, the ability to endure life's storms without being consumed by them. On the other hand, impermanence also invites us to cherish the fleeting joys of life. When we understand that every happy moment, every success, and every loved one is not guaranteed to stay with us forever, we become more present. We savor the laughter of a friend, the beauty of a sunset, or the warmth of a hug with greater appreciation, knowing that these moments are precious precisely because they are impermanent. This principle also liberates us from unhealthy attachments. Much of our suffering stems from clinging to things, people, or outcomes, hoping they will stay the same or turn out exactly as we wish. But when we see that nothing is fixed or unchanging, we can begin to loosen our grip. This doesn't mean we stop caring about what matters to us. It means we learn to love and engage without the fear of loss dictating our actions. We can hold things lightly, appreciating them while they are here, and letting them go when the time comes. Understanding impermanence also helps us live more fully in the present moment. When we stop lamenting the past or worrying about the future, we free ourselves to engage deeply with the now. The present moment is the only time we truly have, and impermanence reminds us to make it count. Instead of rushing through life or taking things for granted, we become more mindful, noticing the beauty and meaning in the seemingly ordinary. This shift in mindset does not mean that life becomes devoid of ambition or passion. On the contrary, embracing impermanence enhances our capacity to take risks and pursue meaningful goals. We act not out of fear of missing out, but from a place of wisdom, knowing that every effort, every experience contributes to the richness of life. So, what does this mean for you? It means that every moment, whether joyful or challenging, holds the potential to teach you something invaluable. Impermanence is not something to fear. It is a teacher, urging us to live with open hearts and grounded awareness. When you understand this principle, life's ups and downs become less intimidating, and you develop the emotional flexibility to navigate them with grace. As we continue our exploration of Zen wisdom, remember this: impermanence is not just a truth to be accepted, it is a gift to be embraced. It frees us from the chains of attachment and opens the door to a deeper, more peaceful existence. Let this principle guide you as we move forward to the next, equally transformative teaching. Principle 2, embracing acceptance. One of the most powerful lessons in Zen wisdom is the art of embracing acceptance, a practice that encourages us to see reality as it is, without resistance or judgment. In a world often shaped by expectations and desires, this principle serves as a beacon of calm amidst life's unpredictability. By learning to accept life in its entirety, the good, the bad, and the unexpected, we unlock a profound sense of peace and resilience. Acceptance is not about resignation or passivity. It's about acknowledging the present moment for what it truly is. Too often, our unhappiness stems from the gap between what we hoped for and what actually happened. When life takes an unexpected turn, a failed plan, a missed opportunity, or a personal setback, we instinctively resist. Why me, we ask, or it shouldn't be this way. But resistance only deepens our suffering, creating a cycle of frustration and disappointment. By practicing acceptance, we break free from this cycle. It begins with a shift in mindset. Instead of fighting against what is, we learn to work with it. Think of a river encountering a large rock. The water doesn't resist the obstacle, it flows around it, finding a new path. Similarly, when we accept reality, we create space for clarity and calm, enabling us to navigate challenges with greater wisdom. For instance, imagine losing a job or facing a significant personal challenge. While the initial emotional response, fear, sadness, or anger, is natural, clinging to these emotions can cloud our judgment and prolong our pain. Acceptance, however, allows us to step back and see the situation objectively. It invites us to ask constructive questions. What can I learn from this? Or how can I move forward from here? By doing so, we transform obstacles into opportunities for growth. Acceptance doesn't mean we give up on change or stop striving for improvement. On the contrary, it gives us a stable foundation to act more thoughtfully and effectively. When we accept a situation as it is, we can make decisions with greater clarity and less emotional turbulence. For example, if we're in a difficult relationship, acceptance allows us to see the dynamic clearly, acknowledging both its strengths and flaws, so we can decide whether to work on it or move on. Another key aspect of acceptance is releasing the tendency to label experiences as good or bad. Often, what seems unfavorable in the moment may lead to unexpected blessings down the road. Consider the story of a farmer who lost his horse. When neighbors lamented his misfortune, he replied, "Maybe, maybe not." Later, the horse returned with several wild horses, enriching the farmer. Acceptance helps us approach life with this same openness, trusting that every event has its purpose. Practicing acceptance also nurtures compassion for ourselves and others. It helps us understand that mistakes, setbacks, and imperfections are a natural part of life. When we stop resisting reality, we soften our inner critic and become more forgiving toward ourselves. This self-compassion then extends outward, enabling us to view others' actions with empathy instead of judgment. To cultivate acceptance in daily life, mindfulness is an invaluable tool. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. By simply noticing our resistance, whether it's frustration in traffic or anger at a colleague, we create a space to respond calmly rather than react impulsively. This awareness allows us to engage with life as it unfolds, rather than wishing it were different. Ultimately, embracing acceptance liberates us. It frees us from the constant struggle to control everything and the disappointment of unmet expectations. It's a gentle reminder that life doesn't always align with our plans, but it often offers lessons far richer than we could have imagined. As we move forward, remember that acceptance is not the end, it's the beginning. It clears the path for us to act with intention and clarity, creating a life of greater balance and peace. And as you listen to the next principle, know that each step is bringing you closer to the ultimate wisdom that ties these teachings together. Principle 3, cultivating equanimity. Equanimity, or upekkha in Pali, is the heart of Zen wisdom, a balanced, steady state of mind that remains unshaken by life's inevitable highs and lows. It is not about indifference or apathy, but about finding an inner calm that allows us to face any situation with clarity and grace. Cultivating equanimity is essential for navigating life's challenges, and it is one of the most profound practices on the path to inner peace. In a world filled with constant change and uncertainty, equanimity acts as an anchor. Imagine a tree standing firm during a storm. While its branches may sway, its roots remain deeply grounded, allowing it to endure the winds without breaking. Equanimity is like that grounding force within us. It helps us stay centered regardless of external circumstances. One of the first steps in cultivating equanimity is recognizing the nature of impermanence and accepting that life will always have its ups and downs. Joy, sorrow, success, failure, all are temporary. By understanding this truth, we can start to detach from the emotional extremes that often throw us off balance. When something good happens, we appreciate it without clinging. When something bad happens, we endure it without despair, knowing that it too shall pass. Mindfulness meditation is a powerful tool for developing equanimity. Through mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting entangled in them. For example, when anger arises, instead of reacting impulsively, we can step back and say, "This is anger. It's here now, but it won't last forever." This simple acknowledgement helps us create space between the stimulus and our response, allowing us to act from a place of calm instead of reactivity. Another important aspect of equanimity is understanding the principle of cause and effect, often referred to as karma. When we accept that our actions have consequences and that life unfolds according to its natural order, we can approach situations with greater clarity and composure. Instead of resisting what happens, we learn to work with it, trusting that every event has its purpose. Compassion also plays a vital role in cultivating equanimity. When we approach others and ourselves with kindness and understanding, it becomes easier to let go of anger, frustration, or resentment. Compassion helps us see challenges not as personal attacks, but as shared human experiences. This shift in perspective fosters a sense of connection and steadiness, even in difficult times. Equanimity doesn't mean we stop caring about outcomes or detach from life's joys and sorrows. Instead, it means we engage fully with life while maintaining an inner balance. For example, imagine you're working toward a goal. While you give it your best effort, you remain open to whatever outcome unfolds, knowing that your value and happiness are not tied to success or failure. This mindset not only reduces stress, but also enhances resilience, allowing you to navigate setbacks with grace. Practicing equanimity is not just about managing life's difficulties, it's also about enhancing the quality of our relationships. When we remain calm and steady, we become better listeners, more thoughtful communicators, and more supportive friends, partners, and colleagues. Our presence becomes a source of stability for those around us, fostering deeper connections and mutual respect. To cultivate equanimity in your daily life, start by observing your emotional reactions. Notice when you feel overly attached to a particular outcome or overly upset by a challenge. Ask yourself, is this worth disturbing my inner peace? With practice, you'll find that many of life's stresses lose their grip when met with equanimity. Ultimately, equanimity is about embracing life's full spectrum with an open heart and a steady mind. It teaches us that while we can't control the waves of life, we can learn to surf them with skill and poise. As we continue this journey through Zen wisdom, remember that equanimity is not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. And in mastering it, we find a deep well of peace that sustains us through all of life's seasons. Now let's move to the next principle, which builds upon this steadiness and brings us even closer to a life of balance and serenity. Stay with us as we explore the transformative power of letting go. Principle 4. Letting go of attachment. Attachment, in its many forms, is often the root of our deepest struggles. Whether we're clinging to material possessions, relationships, or specific outcomes, this attachment creates a dependence that can lead to disappointment, fear, and suffering. One of the core teachings in Zen wisdom is the art of letting go, a practice that liberates us from the chains of clinging and allows us to experience life with greater freedom and peace. At its essence, letting go of attachment doesn't mean abandoning the things we care about. Instead, it involves transforming our relationship with them. It's about holding what we value with open hands, appreciating its presence without grasping too tightly. This shift allows us to cherish life's joys without the constant anxiety of losing them. Consider the fleeting beauty of a flower. If we try to pluck it and keep it forever, it will inevitably wither, leaving us disappointed. But if we admire it where it grows, appreciating its momentary brilliance, we experience a joy that is untainted by the fear of loss. Letting go is much like this. It teaches us to love and engage fully without becoming imprisoned by our desires. The pain of attachment often arises from our mistaken belief that external things, success, wealth, relationships, are the source of our happiness. When we tie our sense of joy or self-worth to something outside ourselves, we become vulnerable to suffering the moment those things change or fade away. Letting go frees us from this dependency, revealing that true contentment comes from within. Mindfulness meditation is a powerful practice for cultivating the art of letting go. Through mindfulness, we can observe how attachment manifests in our thoughts and emotions. For instance, when we find ourselves obsessing over a desired outcome, we can gently acknowledge this is attachment and allow the feeling to pass without acting on it. Over time, this awareness helps us loosen the grip of attachment and embrace life as it unfolds. Another tool for letting go is reflecting on the impermanent nature of all things. In Buddhism, impermanence teaches us that everything is in a constant state of change. By understanding that nothing lasts forever, whether it's joy or sorrow, we can begin to release our need to control or cling. This perspective brings a profound sense of peace, enabling us to navigate life's changes with grace. Letting go doesn't mean we stop caring about people or goals. It means we stop attaching our identity and happiness to them. Imagine someone who is deeply attached to their career. A minor setback at work could send them into a spiral of stress and despair. But if they let go of attachment, they can approach the same situation with curiosity and calm, seeing it as an opportunity for growth rather than a personal failure. This practice also applies to relationships. When we let go of attachment, we stop trying to control others or cling to them out of fear. Instead, we cultivate love and connection that is grounded in freedom and mutual respect. This kind of detachment doesn't weaken relationships, it strengthens them by allowing both individuals to thrive independently while deeply valuing their bond. The act of letting go extends beyond material possessions and personal relationships. It also applies to our expectations and self-image. How often do we hold on to the idea of who we should be or how our lives should look? These mental attachments create unnecessary stress and prevent us from embracing the reality of who we are. By releasing these rigid expectations, we open ourselves to a more authentic and fulfilling existence. Letting go is not about giving up, it's about gaining freedom. It allows us to approach life with an open heart and mind, ready to adapt and grow rather than resist and cling. It transforms how we experience joy, making it richer and more profound because it's no longer overshadowed by fear. As you reflect on this principle, remember, letting go doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, one small step at a time. Begin by observing where attachment shows up in your life, whether in your relationships, goals, or material desires, and gently practice loosening your grip. Over time, you'll find that the freedom gained from letting go far outweighs the temporary comfort of holding on. Now, as we move forward, prepare to explore the next principle, a transformative practice that deepens our connection to the present and further enhances the wisdom of letting go, cultivating gratitude. Principle 5, cultivating gratitude. Gratitude is more than just a polite thank you or a fleeting sense of appreciation. It's a transformative practice that shifts our entire perspective on life. By choosing to focus on what we have rather than what we lack, gratitude opens the door to deep contentment and lasting joy. This principle of Zen wisdom invites us to nurture gratitude as a daily practice, not only to enhance our well-being, but also to strengthen our connections with others and the world around us. In our fast-paced lives, it's easy to overlook the simple blessings that surround us. We often get caught up in chasing what's next, the next goal, the next possession, the next milestone, forgetting to pause and appreciate the present. Gratitude gently reminds us to step back, breathe, and acknowledge the abundance already present in our lives. It helps us see the beauty in everyday moments, like the warmth of sunlight on our skin, the kindness of a friend, or the quiet peace of a morning cup of tea. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring life's difficulties. It means learning to find value even in challenging times. When faced with hardships, gratitude helps us focus on the lessons these experiences bring and the strength they build within us. For example, consider someone who has faced a personal setback. While the initial pain is undeniable, gratitude can help them recognize the support of loved ones, the resilience they've gained, or the opportunities that emerged from the challenge. Gratitude also transforms how we view success and happiness. In a world that often equates worth with material achievements, cultivating gratitude reminds us that true wealth lies in the intangibles: health, relationships, inner peace. This shift in perspective diminishes the constant craving for more and nurtures a sense of contentment with what we already have. One powerful way to cultivate gratitude is through a daily gratitude journal. At the end of each day, take a few moments to write down 3 things you're grateful for. These can be big or small: a meaningful conversation, a delicious meal, or simply the fact that you made it through a tough day. Over time, this practice trains your mind to notice and appreciate the positives, rewiring your brain for a more optimistic outlook. Gratitude also enriches our relationships. Expressing appreciation to those around us strengthens bonds and fosters deeper connections. A heartfelt thank you can make someone feel seen and valued, creating a ripple effect of positivity. For instance, taking the time to thank a colleague for their hard work or acknowledging a friend's support can transform not only their day, but also the depth of your relationship. Beyond personal interactions, gratitude helps us develop a broader sense of interconnectedness. When we recognize the effort and energy that others, often strangers, have contributed to our lives, we begin to see how deeply interconnected we are. This awareness fosters compassion and encourages us to live more mindfully, appreciating the contributions of others and the natural world. Gratitude is also a powerful antidote to negative emotions like envy, frustration, or resentment. When we focus on what we have, these feelings lose their grip. Instead of comparing ourselves to others or lamenting what we lack, gratitude allows us to celebrate our own unique journey. It reminds us that happiness isn't about having everything. It's about appreciating what we already have. As you begin to cultivate gratitude in your daily life, notice how it transforms your relationship with the present moment. Gratitude anchors us in the now, making each moment richer and more meaningful. When we're grateful, even the simplest experiences, a walk in nature, the laughter of a child, the rhythm of our own breath, become sources of profound joy. In essence, gratitude is a practice of abundance. It teaches us to see life not as a series of struggles or deficiencies, but as a gift filled with opportunities for growth and connection. By embracing gratitude, we cultivate a mindset that finds beauty in the ordinary and resilience in the face of challenges. As we move forward to the next principle, keep this in mind. Gratitude is the foundation for many other aspects of Zen wisdom. It enriches not only our personal peace, but also our ability to connect deeply with others and the world around us. And now, let's explore the next transformative principle, one that invites us to embrace freedom through the art of letting go. As we journey through these profound principles of Zen wisdom, from understanding impermanence to cultivating gratitude, a clear path to inner peace and fulfillment emerges. Each principle builds upon the last, offering practical guidance to navigate life's complexities with grace and resilience. These teachings are not abstract ideas, but tools that, when applied, can transform the way we live, think, and connect with the world. Zen wisdom reminds us that life is ever-changing, unpredictable, and imperfect, and that's precisely what makes it beautiful. By embracing impermanence, letting go of attachment, and fostering gratitude, we learn to flow with life rather than resist it. These practices help us find stability amidst chaos, joy in simplicity, and strength in compassion. The final takeaway is this: the journey toward inner peace begins with small, intentional steps. Start where you are, and let these principles guide you toward a deeper sense of harmony and purpose. They are not just lessons to be heard, but truths to be lived, day by day, moment by moment. If these teachings have resonated with you, we encourage you to bring them into your daily life and see the transformation they bring. Remember, the most profound changes often start from within. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and growth. If you found value in these insights, please consider subscribing to OM Wisdom. Together, let's continue to uncover the timeless truths that bring serenity and balance to our lives. May you walk forward with a calm heart, an open mind, and a spirit filled with gratitude. Until next time, may you find peace in the present moment.